Hi, Jacob. I'm at the hospital now. It looks like I'll be here for a few weeks.
What?
I have 2 fractures on my hip.
Your injuries were that bad? You just fell from the stairs, right?
What do you mean, just fell? It was quite dangerous. I was lucky I got away with fractures. It could have been much worse.
Yeah, but were you not paying attention when you were going down? The stairs at my parents' house are not that steep or dangerous.
Are you not worried about me? Because you sound as if you want to say I'm clumsy, rather than care about how I'm currently doing.
I'm worried. I will come see you as soon as I get back from New York.
Fine. You said you'll be back in 3 days?
Yes, you're right.
Okay. I guess I will see you then. Hey, Jacob, I have something to tell you about what happened.
What is it?
This might be very hard for you, but I think it's important that you know. I actually fell down the stairs because of your mother.
What? Why?
I never told you because I was scared it would hurt you too much, but your mother does not like me at all. In fact, she's been very mean to me ever since we got married.
Huh? But you hang out with her all the time. You go see her anytime she calls you over. You were at her house this morning because she invited you, right?
Yes, that's correct. But she calls me over to use me for things. She treats me like I'm her maid. She also complains about how I'm a bad wife. I was even asked how I tricked you into marrying me.
How did you fall down the stairs today, though?
She made me move heavy boxes from upstairs. She piled up one box after another until I couldn't carry anymore. I told her I could have seen anything, but then she said, "Come on, move it," and pushed me.
Penny, it was an accident.
Huh?
Did she really push you? She didn't actually force you down the stairs, did she?
No, but Jacob, I fell down the entire set of stairs.
Yeah, but just because you fell, you can't blame it on my mom. Do you know that she pushed you on purpose? Deliberately to cause you harm?
Well, I don't know for sure, but one thing I know is that there was a push, and from how she has treated me so far, she doesn't like me.
Come on, Penny, you're talking about my mom here. Even if she didn't like you, she would not push you down the stairs. You have to give her a bit more trust. Besides, isn't it normal for a mother-in-law to have some jealousy towards her daughter-in-law? Perhaps she did something to get on her nerves, and so she scolded you? You're probably overreacting.
Jacob, it's been troubling me for months. She has said very nasty things to me and made me very sad. Why can't you be a little sympathetic for your wife?
It's been less than a year since we've gotten married, which means your relationship with my mom has only started. It's inevitable that you have difference in opinions at first, and honestly, just because she said something to you that you didn't like, it's immature to blame your injury on her. It's going a bit too far.
Jacob, it's not scolding, it's bullying. She has kicked me before while I was cleaning the floor.
Kick you? Maybe she wasn't watching where she was going and kicked you accidentally.
I'm telling you this because I don't think that is what happened. She kicked me deliberately.
But you two seem fine when I'm around. You two always talking. Penny, what's gotten into you?
I'm sorry I never told you before, but I didn't because I also thought she was just jealous and that it would go away soon. All I wanted was to get along with her, but I am physically hurt this time because of her, so I don't think getting along with her would ever happen. In fact, I think I'm going to have to stay away from her.
Penny, you should try to understand her feelings.
What? Wait, you think I'm the inconsiderate one here?
The woman has raised me. I have lived with her for years, and I know that she is not the kind of person who would bully someone. She wouldn't let her jealousy drive her mad. Besides, I have never heard her say anything about you, not once. So I am surprised and shocked that you would blame her like this.
I am telling you the truth.
I don't know, Penny. Are you sure you weren't clumsy at all? Is it 100% my mother's fault? You were moving the boxes because you agreed to do so, right?
Yes, but Jacob...
Well then, you can't put the entire blame on my mom. That's just not fair.
You don't believe me, do you?
It's not about what I believe or don't believe. I'm just telling you what I think about your story. But speaking of trust, can you prove that she has been bullying you? Anything to prove it's not all in your head?
Proof? Well, no, I don't. I didn't think I'd be needing proof to make my husband believe me.
If you had proof, I would have no other choice but to believe you. No offense, but maybe it really is all in your head, Penny. Everyone takes things differently, you know? Like, someone could get pissed off about something when another won't even blink. Maybe you're being too sensitive about it. Anyway, I can't say or do much when I've only had one side of the story.
Alright, fine. So be it. I won't talk about this anymore.
Thanks, I'm glad you understand. She's my one and only mother. I hope you get along with her. And like I said, a lot of women have trouble with their in-laws at first, so don't overthink. Penny! My mom has got into an accident!
What? Is she okay?
Thankfully nothing life-threatening, but her arm is broken. She will need to take it easy at home for a while.
Oh, well, I am glad she is okay.
I'm sorry to ask you this, but I need you to take care of her. She broke her right arm, so she can't do anything on her own, and her left arm is also injured. She should be discharged from the hospital in 2 days.
Wait a second. You want me to take care of her?
Yeah, because I have work. But you don't, and your hip is fully healed now, isn't it? Do you have a problem?
Yes, I do. I don't want to take care of her at all.
Huh? Penny, do you still think she pushed you down the stairs? I thought we cleared this out.
No, I only said that I would stop talking about it because you wouldn't believe me. And I told you I will have to stay away from her. I think it's too dangerous for me to be around her. It's best we don't see each other anymore.
She did us a favor to come over to her house and cook her meals while you couldn't get out of bed. Now she is injured and needs help. But you won't return the favor? Besides, you never mentioned any further trouble with her these past couple of months. Or have you not just told me of the horrible deeds of my mom?
First of all, I never asked her to cook meals for us. And no, she has not done anything to me recently. But that is because you told her how I felt about her. I can't believe you told her exactly what I said. Are you out of your mind?
I needed to confirm her side of the story. I didn't think I did anything wrong.
You are too blind to even realize what you have done. Let's say, hypothetically, that what I told you is true, which would mean that she is acting to be a nice mother-in-law when you are around. Can you guess what happens when you are not around? She could treat me even worse for telling on you. I mean, think about it. Who would simply admit they are bullying someone, huh?
You're being dramatic about it again. I've had enough of your evil delusions. If you want me to believe, then give me the proof.
I was hoping to get proof, but thanks to you, I lost the chance now that she's been warned. Anyway, I can't help her. If you think she needs help, then you should take days off and go help her yourself.
Penny, I really don't want to say this to you, but if I don't work, you don't get to live the way you do now. You cannot give me that kind of attitude. And you're hurting my feelings again. Do you realize how mean it is for you to talk badly of my mother?
I never wanted to say such things to you in the first place, but there's a possibility that she actually harmed me. I was put in the hospital for God's sake, so I wasn't going to hide it from you anymore. I trusted you. I told you because I thought you would believe me and protect me. It took me courage to tell you the truth, but you just brushed it off.
Whatever. You will help my mom. You are her daughter-in-law, so you have no choice.
I will not be taking care of someone who has bullied me, no.
Listen to me, I'm not asking you, I'm ordering you. I don't care about what you want or don't want to do. If you can't listen to me, then it will be difficult to continue our marriage.
Seriously? You want to get a divorce because of your mom?
Not because of her, but because of you. Stop blaming her for everything. You know, I think I get it now. It's not that she dislikes you. It's you that dislikes her.
Enough. I will absolutely not be taking care of her. Period. I will do as I please. I am not listening to you.
Penny! You will not disobey me. You will be looking after her. You must go to her house when she is discharged from the hospital. I would not take no for an answer. Penny, where are you? My mom just called me. We're supposed to be helping her. Why haven't you arrived at her house yet?
I told you I won't go. I firmly refuse. Besides, if she can use her smartphone to call you, then she must be doing just fine. Lucky she was discharged in a couple of days, unlike me.
Not that I believe what you told me, but even if her bullying were true, you need to let it go. If you don't go over her house now, I am divorcing you. I'm serious. I can cut all ties with you right now.
Are you sure?
Yes!
Then let's get divorced today.
What?
You see, I reached the same conclusion too. The only way left for us is a divorce. I already spoken to my lawyer and she prepared me the documents already. I have it sitting in front of me, waiting for us to sign.
What? Hold on a second. You're joking, right?
Huh? No, of course I'm not. You just said you wanted to divorce me too. See, you sent, I can cut all ties with you right now.
That's because you refuse to take care of my mother.
Yes, and I told you I am not looking after her, not even for a minute. So like you suggested, let's get a divorce.
You can't be serious.
Oh, but you were, a minute ago. You just said, remember? So if we are both serious about it, let's jump right in.
I wasn't going to as long as you agreed to take care of my mother.
For the millionth time, no. Give me a break, Jacob. No means no. How many times more do I have to tell you?
Penny, please. You don't seriously want to get a divorce over something so silly.
What? Have I been messaging another Jacob? Because as far as I can remember, you were the one who first brought up the term divorce. And now you're telling me I'm silly?
Yeah, but...
And for the record, it's not something so silly. Nothing is funny about her bullying me. I have tolerated her treatment towards me because I cared about you, and because I wanted to try to get along with her. I tried, but nothing helped because she is not interested in getting along with me. Then I got seriously injured because she pushed me down the stairs. I finally reached out to you for help, but you didn't believe me. In fact, you made it sound like I was accusing her, as if I was the cause of everything that happened between me and her.
That's because I have never seen her do anything to you.
I want to be clear with you, Jacob. I am leaving you, not because of your mother, because you wouldn't take your wife seriously, because you don't have any respect for me or care for me. This is all on you.
Wait a second, let's not rush things.
Why not?
I don't know what to do right now. Please, give me a minute.
Why do you not know what to do? You said it, Jacob. You said you would cut all ties with me. It's too late to take back what you said. I am leaving. My decision is rock hard. I will leave my lawyer's contact on the table. Let us know when you've read through the divorce papers.
Wait, Penny! Let's talk when I get back. We should both calm down and have a constructive conversation.
No, thank you. I am not changing my mind. I want a divorce because I can't stay married to you anymore.
I'm sorry, I wasn't serious when I mentioned divorce. I only wanted to get you to take care of my mom.
So you threatened me. You thought I would go to your mom's house and care for her if you hung the word in front of me. You mistook me for a scared, petty housewife who would do anything to save her living.
No, that's not true.
Oh, I think it is. Those words came out because that is what you believe. Well, guess what? I will not be a slave to you or your mother. I refuse to do anything I don't feel comfortable doing, and I will not hold back to continue an unhealthy marriage. I didn't marry you to depend on you anyway. What the hell do you take me for?
I never should have said it the way I did. I'm sorry.
See? You still don't get it. It's not about the way you said it. I can't believe I have to word everything out for you. But as a final gift to you, I will enlighten you. Do you remember what you said to me when I was hospitalized? You said I should try to understand her feelings. You also asked if I wasn't being clumsy at all. Can you even imagine how I felt reading those words on my hospital bed? Words coming from no other than my own husband. And then you go on and tell her everything I said to you. You are the worst husband any person could ever have.
I might have been inconsiderate.
No, you're wrong. You just tried to ignore everything. I think you always knew something was going on. Your mom never said anything mean to me in front of you, but you couldn't have not seen what she would serve me at the dinner table when you two had nice full meals. You couldn't have noticed how she would never buy me anything back from her trips, while she got you a bag full every time. You pretended not to notice because you didn't want any trouble.
I thought she was favoring me because I'm her son.
Would you be able to say the same if my parents ever treated you the way she's been treating me? Let's say, if everyone had steak but you only got mashed potatoes, are you sure you can simply say, oh, it's because I'm not their son?
I'm sorry. I thought trouble with in-laws were nothing rare, you know? Like it's something any family goes through.
So you thought I should just stay quiet and tolerate it like everybody else, even if I get pushed down the stairs. Oh, right. You think I fell on my own because I don't have any proof.
Penny, I'm sorry. I will pay better attention from now on. I will treat you with respect. You don't have to take care of my mother if you don't want to. I was wrong about everything. Please forgive me.
I don't think so. Like I said, you're the main reason I am leaving. Your mother was awful to me, but you are even worse than her. The things you said and done after hearing what I had to say about your mother did it for me. I now understand that you won't do anything to help or protect me when something happens.
I am so sorry. I was hoping time would solve the problem.
So what? You were going to let me suffer until she died? Wow, I'm glad I'm choosing to divorce you. This must be the best decision I have made in years. I wish I could travel back in time to when I was crying on the hospital bed and tell myself everything would be okay.
Penny, I really don't want to end our marriage over this. How I handled things were very bad, I fully admit it. But it's originally my mom's fault, isn't it? You don't have to see her again, I promise, so please reconsider.
What? Jacob, are you dumb? Have you been paying attention at all? I said this is on you. Your mom created the problem, but you made it 100 times worse. Don't get that wrong. You should write down the line I just sent you so that you don't forget.
I'm truly sorry, please, I don't want a divorce. I'm sorry for hurting you so many times. I'm begging you not to leave me. You can live however you please from now on.
I want to do exactly that. Therefore, leaving you. I don't want a bully in my life, nor a husband who won't believe me. You try to force me to take care of her by threatening me with divorce. I will never get back with an asshole like that. You're wasting my time.
I'm sorry, forgive me, please. I care about you more than anything in this world. I love you from the bottom of my heart.
Cut the crap. Love me? You? If you did, there is no way you could have said those things to me.
I do, I swear. You mean the world to me. You have to believe me, Penny.
How could I? You don't have anything to prove it, do you? It took us months to finalize our divorce, but I was successfully able to cut all ties with Jacob. I wasn't able to make him pay me consolation money, but I was able to win a good portion of the division of assets. Honestly, money aside, I am just happy I got away from the two idiots. I heard from a mutual friend that Jacob and his mom's relationship became hostile due to the divorce. She began to accuse him for not marrying the right woman, and Jacob claimed that she was the whole cause of the divorce. What my mother-in-law did to me was not acceptable, but what I hated most was how Jacob reacted to my story. Although I don't think he is smart enough to understand my reasons for ending our marriage. It will take him another million years to finally understand why his way of thinking is wrong. After I left Jacob, my parents took me in and said I could stay until I got myself back on my feet. It's been nice to be able to take the time to heal from the damages they have caused and be cared by people who actually love me unconditionally. But I don't want to depend on my parents forever, so I've started to look for a job recently. I still feel sick sometimes from remembering the miserable days with Jacob and his mother, but I refuse to let the bad memories take over my life. I have sworn to myself that I will have a better, happier life than the two. After all, that would be the ultimate revenge.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Hey there, Cammy. Are you back home from the funeral already?
Hello there, Aaron. I noticed that you weren't at my husband's funeral despite the fact that you're his mother.
Yes, I really wanted to be there, but I just had so many things going on.
You were too busy to attend your own son's funeral is what you're telling me. Didn't you want to have your last goodbye with him before he was cremated?
Well, I would have liked to, but I feel like there really wouldn't have been a point. I mean, you know that Tom hadn't been talking for some years before he passed away.
But it isn't like you two had a fight and decided not to talk to each other ever again or anything like that, right?
Actually, I suppose you could say something similar happened between us, actually. Tom borrowed money from me and then just moved out to live on his own. Not to mention that he hardly ever called home. He basically abandoned his family and wasn't a good son during his life. So I didn't really see why I should interrupt my busy schedule just to attend the funeral for a person like that.
Well then why are you even messaging me like this in the first place?
Well, now I'm not so busy, so I think I have the time to head over and see where you're keeping him.
Oh, I see. Well, if you wanted to come and pay your respects, I think that'd be really nice actually. In fact, I think he would really like it if you did.
Oh, yes, that's right. I'll be coming over to pay my respects. In fact, I'm going to be paying my respects to him every single day.
You're going to visit him every day? Sorry, I'm a little confused. Are we talking about the same things right now?
Well, I mean that as of tomorrow, I am going to be living in your house. So get a room ready for me, thanks.
Sorry, I still don't understand. You want to live with me? Did you mean to say that you were going to be living near me or something? I don't get what you mean by that.
I meant exactly what I said. I'm going to be moving into your house, and you and I are going to be living there together.
So you're really going to move here? But who are all you bringing with you?
Oh, not many people, just me, my husband, and our daughter. That is to say, your sister-in-law.
Hold on just a second. Why are you doing all this? I don't understand.
Well, the house that you're living in right now belonged to Tom, didn't it? So, as his closest blood relatives, we should have a right to live in that house too. There are plenty of mixed-generation houses who a couple takes in one set of parents to live with.
I heard of that happening, but you have a house. Why do you need to move into mine? I mean, why would you put yourself through all this just to share a living space with me?
Well, we actually don't have another house since we sold our old place.
You're not serious, are you? You sold your family home?
You do know that it was my grandfather who built that house, don't you? And that explains why it's rotting and falling apart now. It's not fit for a family to live in. There's leaking when it rains, and the foundations of the house are starting to rot, which is making the house start to slant. Normally, a house like that would never even sell on the market, but we had a family friend willing to buy it for a discounted price. The timing couldn't have been better, though.
So then you really sold your house when you could have just hired someone to repair it.
Repair it? In the state it was in, it would have been cheaper to just buy a new house. We had repair costs for everything wrong with our house quoted at around $200,000. So we just thought that it would be easier to sell it and move into a new place. That is to say, your place. That way it wouldn't cost us anything.
I suppose you have a point there, but even so, this is all happening a bit too suddenly for me.
Well, I am so sorry about that. We just decided to move in with you the other day, you see.
I understand that, but you didn't talk to me about this once before now.
Well, that's because we decided as a family. So anyways, we're going to be arriving tomorrow in the evening, okay? So the least you could do is clean up around the house a little and try to make it look presentable.
Can we just slow down for 1 second? I mean, there's a way to change your mind about this at all?
That's right. We've made our decision and we don't intend on changing it. Besides, you are just Tom's wife. You don't have an actual right to tell us what we can and can't do now that he's gone.
But I'm going to be away at work around the time that you're going to be coming over. I work in the evening.
Well, then just leave a spare key for the house in the mailbox or something, jeez. We've already packed up our things and have been stacking boxes getting ready to load into moving vans. See you soon, Cammy.
Aaron, my house is a complete disaster. What did you do to it?
Oh, what do you mean? We're in the unpacking stage right now. Of course things are going to be a little messy.
This isn't what I'm talking about. Please do not just move my furniture and rearrange my rooms without asking me first, okay? And why were my clothes thrown all over the hallway? What is the meaning of that?
We didn't have any other choice. We needed to make room for the rest of our stuff and your things were in the way. It's that simple.
If they were in the way, then the least you could have done would be to gently move them out of the way and then put them back once you're done. You even moved Tom's urn from over the fireplace. Do you really not see anything wrong with this at all?
Oh, please, I just moved it off the ledge where I could have fallen. I'm sure my son's spirit will forgive me for doing so.
And where are the three of you right now? Did you all step out even though the house is a total disaster now?
Well, we were getting tired of all the moving and rearranging, so we went out to eat. We looked up a really good Chinese spot here in town. I think we might be regular here. It's so tasty.
I am so happy you're already setting in well into the neighborhood.
So, anyways, while we're all out eating, would you mind tidying up just a little? I mean, the least you could do is make sure that we have a space to sleep tonight when we get back.
Excuse me? You want me to clean up this mess by myself?
Well, yes. I mean, you're my daughter-in-law, that's your job. It's all thanks to the efforts of my late son that you're even able to live in a house like this. So the least you can do is take care of his family now that he's gone.
But I just got home from work and I'm exhausted.
Oh, you think you're exhausted? We've been moving things all day. If you're looking for pity from us, you've come to the wrong people. Honestly, you really have no idea just how spoiled you are. All you ever do is complain about every little thing.
Erin, please, I do not mind helping you clean up all this, but I just can't do it by myself. Can you all please finish your meals and come back? I would like some help moving the furniture back as well.
You mean you can't even handle doing that on your own? I wouldn't mind so much about how spoiled you are if you would at least do some work around here. You're still young, so quit complaining.
But I'm complaining about what you all did to my house. Don't you get that? And you were talking about needing to make room for all of us, but this place isn't built to house 4 people. I mean, the place only has 3 rooms.
You're right about that. 4 people is a little bit cramped. I know. How about you move out, and then there should be room for all of us?
You're asking me to move out of my own house?
Why do you keep calling it your house? We all know that Tom was the real owner. And as his closest family, that means that what's his is ours. You have no say in any of this at all. And we are well within our rights to throw you out of the house if we so choose.
What are you talking about? I'm the owner of the house.
Why aren't you out of the house yet? I thought I told you to leave us alone already. My daughter wants her own room and won't quit bugging me about it. All of our problems would be over already if you would just finally leave us in peace. Please, just get out.
So you really are going to try and take my own house away from me then?
Oh, please don't be so dramatic. It isn't nearly that bad. I already told you that we have the right to evict you since this house used to belong to my son. You don't have any room to argue.
And you really want the house so badly that you're willing to do something like this to get it?
It isn't about what we want. It's the fact that we have a legal claim to this house since it belonged to Tom. Now, you're going to leave peacefully and let us get on with our lives or else.
Okay then, if that's really how you feel about it, I guess I'll leave. I was actually thinking about moving away from here anyways.
Oh, really? Well, in that case, get lost and go moving there. We're going to be living in this house from now on, and we don't need you getting in our way all the time.
I already said that I was going to leave. I'll be out of your hair before the day is done. Although I should warn you that Tom didn't leave anything behind. There was no inheritance of his to claim.
Oh, what are you talking about? Of course he had things. He had things like this house.
No, I'm afraid that after all is said and done, when he died with nothing.
I seriously have no idea what you're saying. This doesn't make sense.
Then listen very closely, because I do not want to have to repeat myself. Tom died owning nothing. Do you get it? All his life, he was a horrible man who did nothing but cause trouble for others.
Wait a second, where's this coming from all of a sudden? What is this about, huh?
I mean that my husband, your son, was a horrible man. He used me, took my money, gambled it all away, and ended up in $200,000 of debt.
Hold on a second. Are you telling me when Tom died he was $200,000 in debt? Surely you must mean 20,000 or something like that, right?
I know what I typed, and as soon as he died, banks and debt collectors began reaching out to me looking for their money. When I got the first of these types of letters in the mail, I nearly fainted when I found out just how much in the red Tom was.
But I don't believe it. I mean, $200,000? That's way too much.
Well, believe it or not, it is the facts. I even have the documents to prove all of what I'm telling you is correct.
Why would my son do something so stupid like that? I mean, didn't he know anything about how to use money responsibly?
Well, that is one thing that we can agree on. Your husband is indeed an idiot. Not only that, he was a lazy, no-good, horrible person who buried himself in debt before dying. And now that he's gone, it's his family that is left to clean up his mess.
I see. I had no idea about any of this. But as his wife, you would be the one responsible for all of the debt now. I mean, you said the collectors were trying to get in contact with you, right?
Are you sure that I'm responsible for that? You see, the other day, I submitted my own nullification to inherit anything from Tom.
So you remove yourself from his will entirely?
That's right. So in other words, I'm not carrying any of his dead weight around with me. And while that means that I get nothing from the will, it also means that I don't inherit any of the debt.
But then, who is going to end up taking all of that?
Well, I believe he did specify the three of you as his heirs as well, right? You can get the house, but it also means that you're going to take on the debt.
Well, we want the house, but not all that debt. Can't we just get the house and call it even?
I'm afraid that is not how it works. If you want to inherit the house, you have to inherit the debt.
Oh, but we're talking about $200,000 here.
That's right. Well, actually, to be accurate, I think it's actually more like $2,100, $6,500.
But that's even more than $200,000.
Sorry, I was doing a little bit of rounding before.
There is no way that we're able to afford something like that.
Oh, come on. I'm sure that this is the three of you combine your efforts that you could pay that off in no time. I mean, you are three capable adults. Surely you can handle that, right? Besides, this is something that you can remember your son through. I know you can pay it off if you try.
But we're still all looking for new jobs right now.
What happened to your old jobs that you all had were working before?
We had to quit those so that we could move all the way out here. Besides, it wasn't exactly as if all three of us had what you would call careers anyways. So there's just no way that we're going to be able to pay back an amount like that.
I see. But what about the money that you got from selling your old house? Surely that must still be around, right?
No, we had to use all of that money to pay for the moving expenses to get to your house.
Wow, it must not have been all that much money then. But I guess you did say that you had to sell your house for cheap.
I don't need to hear that kind of thing from you. Why didn't you ever mention any of this before to us?
I just told you right now. What are you talking about? This wouldn't have even been a problem for you all if you hadn't just decided amongst yourself to move here. When I realized the types of people I was going to be dealing with, I knew it was going to be more simple to just remove myself from the process entirely. The bottom line is that the debt comes with this house and there is no escaping it.
The story has to be a little bit more complicated than that. I mean, if we lose this house, where are we going to live? We don't even have enough money to put yourself in a hotel for very long, and another house is totally out of the question.
Yeah. Well, you might want to take the camping things out of the garage and find a nice bridge to set up shop under. Although I think he hasn't touched the tent since it got torn up in a hailstorm. But a house is a house, right?
How can you talk to us so casually about this? Aren't we all family here? Besides, it's the middle of winter.
Yeah, I know. Feel free to take some of the winter clothes we have in the closet too. You'll need them.
Of course we're going to need them. We'll freeze to death without them.
Hold on a second. Don't you have a car? Why not just bring a bunch of blankets in there and sleep that way?
You mean that cramped little sports car? How are three fully grown adults supposed to be able to sleep in that? We'll all have to curl up in little balls. That sounds miserable.
I see. Well, at least you have the car. Why not sell it and try to move back into your old house? Sure, it's falling apart and slanted, but it's better than nothing.
We can't. The person that we sold it to said they were going to tear it down. There won't be anywhere for us to go back to. Even if we tried squatting there before the demolition team showed up, we could get in even more financial trouble if we get caught.
Take on $200,000 in debt or live with two other people in a tiny car? That's like one of those icebreaker questions asked at a party or something.
This isn't a joke. It's our lives that we're talking about.
Well, either way, you're going to have to make the choice. You're going to have to make a choice. I imagine that you're going to choose not to take on the debt, though. Either way, you have to choose quickly.
How could our son do this to us? That stupid boy, what was he thinking?
Aaron, that's the sanest thing you've said all day.
Cammy, are you there? I have a little favor to ask of you. Is there any way that I could get you to help us out just a little?
Well, it's been a while since I've last heard from you. How have things been going?
Please, we desperately need money. We can't keep going on like this.
Oh my. Well, where are you all right now, and what are you all doing?
We're still living in the house. This damned house our stupid son left us.
So then you chose to take on all that debt?
We didn't have any other choice. We wanted to leave it first, but we couldn't.
Huh? Well, what is that? What brought you back to live there?
After the first week of trying to live and sleep in that car, we were all so sore and uncomfortable. My husband can barely even move now.
Oh my, I suppose spending that much time in such a cramped space really can't be good when your joints are that old. It's like you're living in an airline seat or something.
Well, anyways, that's why we had to go back to the house. We just couldn't stand to live like that anymore.
And it sounds like the choice has been made for you.
We even tried to camp outside a little, but it was so freezing cold we couldn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, we are in the dead of winter over here. I don't blame you for that.
It was either take on the debt or destroy our bodies. We thought about selling the house and putting it towards paying off the debt as well, but we would have to wait until the weather improved before we could even do that.
Sounds to me like you all are trapped there for a while then. Oh, and there was one thing that I forgot to tell you about the house. I'm actually not sure if you'll be able to sell it, actually.
What are you talking about? Why wouldn't we be able to sell the house?
Well, you probably noticed the mountain face that is basically right being behind the house, right? We are just always suffering from landslides coming down the mountain from rainy season or construction. Basically, that house just doesn't have very stable foundations and is constantly at risk of a natural disaster.
You mean that mountain that I'm looking at right outside my window could come down on us at any time?
Well, probably not in winter, unless it snows a whole bunch. I just wish you the best of luck in finding a buyer. Either way, you'll probably only be able to get way less than whatever you thought you originally could. Sell the house if you want. I'm just not sure how much good it will do you, really.
This can't be happening. Why didn't you say anything earlier? We had no idea about any of this. You should have told us.
I really don't think that you would have listened to any word that I said, even if I did say anything.
Maybe so, but you could have at least tried to tell us. You didn't even say anything.
Why would I put that kind of effort into warning the people trying to kick me out of my own house?
Please, you have to do something to help us.
I will not, and I hope that living in that house reminds you every day that you got yourself into this mess. You may think that your son is an idiot for doing what he did, and I would even agree with you. But I also strongly believe that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. In the end, Erin and her family stayed in the house and took on the $200,000 of debt. That spring, however, the melting of all the snow on the mountain caused a huge flood that heavily damaged the house. Since they all lacked the money to pay for any kind of insurance, they had to leave their flooded home with nothing in hand. Now, they all live in a tiny apartment, doing their best working multiple jobs. As for me, I returned home to live with my parents for a while. While there, I met up with an old crush of mine and soon we were dating. He's very nice and kind and nothing like Tom was. All I want to do now is forget all about him and start my life over again.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.